Hey, what's going on, everyone? Strider's back with Sit Down Gaming, and here I have Get On Me, Get On Me Gaming.
Yep, league player. Ready to talk about some stuff today?
Yeah.
Pretty excited.
Episode 3 of Days of Our League, because everyone needs some drama in their life, as long as it doesn't involve us.
Yes, exactly.
Of course. The first thing we're going to go over is Maple Street, trash-talking Reddit, and then putting out a really sad time vlog. He was super sad panda. Didn't have a... I don't know.
You could feel it in his vlog that he was very expressing his emotions, I guess you could say.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Reddit is probably one of the... I might even say the biggest community out there as far as talking about League of Legends goes.
Even just in general.
Yeah, Reddit's huge now. Absolutely ginormous. So, when he came out and decided to say something about it, a lot of people aren't happy, to say the least. So
it hasn't worked out for a few people, because I think Hot Shots come out and said he hated Reddit now, and so he hasn't been on Reddit in a really long time. I mean, he does regular Reddit, but he just avoids the League of Legends subreddit. And I think a lot of the pros do, because there's just so much criticism and so much hate out there.
It's definitely... You see a lot more criticism than you do see praise and saying, oh, we like you, don't worry. And you kind of have to push away the bad to find the good. But that can be hard, especially when you're new to this scene, as a new team just got in, and he's probably taking more to the criticism than he is the praise, because that's how humans work sometimes.
Yeah, because he's... Especially if you've already experienced a lot of depression, you've already contemplated suicide. I mean, those are things you're very aware of what people think of you, or you're always worried about what people think of you, and that's very difficult to do, because most people are in general.
Yeah.
But when you have a chemical imbalance and it amplifies it 10 times, that can become such a bad thing.
Exactly.
So every once in a while you'll lash out, and it's going to happen. But
yeah. I mean, you can see after he posted his whole apology and stuff like that, the community really did say, first off, we're a little bit sorry for doing that. We didn't know these types of things. We're sorry. We really do support you. We like the team. They tried to get him back, but I mean, it's hard for him. It really is.
Yeah, and it's just gonna get harder.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm worried about, is because if that's gonna put him on tilt, then other teams can easily do that. Because if Velocity ends up being really good, like if they're a top contender,
could happen.
It definitely could happen. They have a lot of amazing players.
Talent.
But all they need to do is get TSM or CLG, get their fan base to rally against Velocity, and Velocity is just going to plummet.
Yeah. Because
they don't have the mindset of, I don't care what anybody else says, I'm going to win.
Exactly.
And that's why TSM has been so successful.
Yeah, they know that they're good, and they know how to take the criticism. I mean, how often has Reggie been just...
belligerent?
Yes, exactly. Just people talk to Reggie. Reggie says, dude, I don't care, whatever, look at us, we're good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a way, it might be good for Velocity to develop some of that mindset and kind of brush it off a little bit.
You need it. You really do. Because even, I mean, my YouTube channel is by no means big or anything, but I have about 2,000 subscribers right now, and I mean, I get criticism if I post stuff on the forums. Yeah. People say, oh, you fucking suck, you're trash, you're garbage, like double lift stuff. And for me, it doesn't bother me at all, because I reply right back, and I'm like, I understand your feelings, but can you elaborate on what sucks and what I can improve on?
You take the criticism in a positive way.
Exactly, because if somebody doesn't like me, then ask what they don't like.
Smart. And
if it's something I can fix, then it's...
Yeah.
Then it's good.
Exactly.
A good came out of a bad. But if they just say, oh, I don't like your voice, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Congratulations. I can't change my voice. I'm not Civ HD. I can't just go super. I can't even do that.
That's funny.
Although Civ HD is pretty bad.
Yeah.
He was cool, too. But yeah, I was really depressed when I saw his vlog. I almost wanted to cry a little bit.
I know.
Yeah. And just, he didn't... I don't know. It's like he's losing all of his hopes and dreams. This is his first dream to become a professional gamer, and now everyone's against him. And it's like the one thing he wants to do, everyone says, fuck you.
He really expressed that. He was like, I mean, he said, I haven't been really trying to succeed in anything. I was always the class clown, stuff like that. And then he says, finally, I work hard and I get this thing. And then I go to Reddit and all I see is, fuck you, bro, you're garbage, your team sucks, look at your record. And I'm just like, like, it must be so frustrating for him to finally hit where he wants to hit and then just be destroyed by all these people.
It's just a completely different environment, though.
It
Because
is.
when I started my gaming career, I started out at a LAN center.
Yeah.
Because that's the only place
That's
I had.
where you went.
I didn't have a
Yeah.
really nice computer, like a gaming computer at
Mhm.
home, because that was really, really early days of video cards and stuff. And, you know, I was
Way back
14. How am I supposed to
Yeah.
afford that stuff? And parents didn't have decent computers. I mean, now most okay internet-based just
Yeah.
school computers can run games on low settings.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that back in the day. It wasn't like that at all.
Yeah.
So we had to go to a LAN center and pay to play, but we used to always pay to enter the weekly tournaments.
Yeah.
And then we started getting good, and then we started going to bigger tournaments. And that's just how it evolved for us. We were born
Yeah.
we were born into the darkness. So we did. I don't know. It was so much better that way because it was fun, and that's what we did. We had LAN parties and stuff all
You
the
had a
time.
nice community, I bet. When
Yeah.
you were at those things. I'm a lot
Exactly.
younger than him. I never got to
Oh, that's true.
experience that. Sad day.
Yeah, they don't really have much. There's not. I mean, a lot of the LAN centers closed down.
Yeah.
Unless they're really, really good LAN centers, in
Mhm.
which case they're losing money anyway,
'cause they got
or they're
sold
just
everything.
barely staying afloat,
Mhm.
which sucks. But I mean, there's ways to keep it afloat. You just have
Yeah. I mean, they're fun.
You have to work
really,
at
you
it.
can meet people
to. Yeah.
and then, like you said, you have your community behind you then even, and you don't really see all the criticism, and now you're just
Exactly.
the
Now there's
internet man.
forums
The internet.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Forums everywhere. You can't avoid it. It's
Mhm.
unavoidable. It's gonna happen, and you either get past it or you be like most people and avoid it completely,
Yeah.
which is what most people do.
Try to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to because then you get blindsided in interviews when you're at LCS level. The interviewer will bring up something that happened on Reddit, like somebody calling you out, and you're all,
Yes.
what? What happened?
In a way, the esports has become so big, it's almost like they're trying to become like an actual sports thing, like, you
Yeah.
know? And it's the same way you'll see pro players in sports and now in esports get all this criticism, but the pro players are so used to it, it's new for these e-gamers, because esports has never been as big as it is now.
Yeah.
It's hitting an all-time high, so, and like you said, when the interviewers do bring it up, it's kind of like, oh, geez, how do I respond to this? This is my first time ever having somebody ask me, how do you feel about somebody hating you? You're like, I don't know what to say. What do I do? What?
Exactly. Like, how am I supposed to feel?
Yeah, exactly. I
And
don't
so,
like it.
yeah, with people not having big corporate backings like Evil Geniuses
Yeah.
and some of the Dignitas, they don't get any PR training. They don't know how to
Yes.
answer questions like that.
Exactly.
And so they do stuff like this to where they bash, 300,000 people that are in a community, which is, it's not good.
Asking for trouble.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. But since you brought up the whole getting closer to real sports,
Yes.
we're going to go into the whole Marn stealing money thing.
Oh, gosh.
So, Team Martin, represent.
Yeah. Dressed for the occasion,
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
He stole all the money so he could make shirts, and he gave me this shirt for free.
Oh, man.
Number one Marn. Number one Marn.
That's
No.
how to get support right there.
No, I don't know. I have a lot of fighting game friends. All my
Yeah.
friends locally are all fighting games as far as Super Smash Brothers, Street Fighter, and Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yep.
So they all know Marn's shenanigans. I didn't know anything about it. But whenever I'm around them and I have this shirt on, they kick me out of their house. They're like, no, get out of here. I
Leave.
fucking hate Marn. Because all he did was troll. That's what he is. He's a giant
He's
troll.
just a troll.
That's what he does. But he's not vindictive. You know?
Yeah.
He's just annoying. He gets on people's bad sides, and he does it on purpose.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care. And he doesn't do it in a bad way. And I think that's the misconception that people have about him.
Definitely. I mean, you could see with this whole situation, he wasn't trying to be the bad guy per se,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he's not also like the good guy. Like, it's a very interesting situation because with Mega Zero calling him out, and then
Which was a bitch move.
yeah, that was
I'm like, dude, if you can't handle your own stuff internally,
when
don't worry about it. But at the same time, he called him out, but he didn't at the same
That's,
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
He was doing a warning.
Yeah.
But
and then halfway
it
through
was
the warning,
more.
it was
yeah.
like, hey, so the reason I'm doing this warning is fuck you guys.
That's exactly what happened. And that was uncalled for, I think.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the details weren't there. And even when Marn replied to it,
Yes.
his details, there was a lot of missing details because there was no bookkeeping. There was nothing.
It was handled unprofessionally.
Very unprofessionally.
They didn't sit down and write out what was going to happen, who was doing. Whenever you do that, fair warning, people, don't just say yes whenever somebody asks you a question.
Don't just sign a fucking lease.
Yeah, keep track of it. Make contracts. Do something. I mean.
Well, they did. The thing is that when you sign a lease, it's very difficult.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get out of a lease.
Yeah.
Without paying some kind of thing. So, I mean, they signed a 6-month lease,
Yes.
which means they would have to be in both sides of the split for 6 months. But since they got eliminated, they were only there for 3 months, which means they don't get their security deposit back. Because if you break your lease, you don't get your security deposit back. And they're, from what everything sounds like, is they had to continue paying until new tenants moved in.
Yeah.
Which is very common. That is not out of the ordinary by any stretch of the imagination.
Signed a 6-month lease.
Exactly. You sign a
did.
6-month lease, so you have to pay until somebody else gets replaced.
Yes.
And you lose your security deposit, which all that stuff's in the lease. And it was definitely explained to them.
Yes.
There's no way the landlord did not explain that to them. There's absolutely no way. Because if you're talking to a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, you're going to stress the money side of the situation. You're like, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the basic part of the money. Everything else is standard, but money is, I want my money. That's my security. You need to make sure that you can give me the money.
Yes.
And that's basically what Marn did.
Yep.
But at the same time, people brought up a lot of things in regards to the community funding, because nobody knows how much he did fundraisers.
It was so sketch. I want to say is the right word. Mega Zero said, "Oh, you got all these like contracts and support from other companies that you never gave us," and he's like, "No, they just gave us like equipment. That's what products."
Which is true.
Yeah, exactly. So and going back to what you said about the 6-month lease, that's where the whole mix-up was. Everybody on the team is saying, "Oh, we didn't get our last paycheck," because from Riot you get the paychecks, $1,800 or whatever a month, whatever you decide, and they didn't get it because they had to cover the costs. So from what it sounds like, there's just a lot of miscommunication, and now Riot's involved in it and everything, and it's just it's almost blown out of proportion in a way. I mean, it is a very drama-filled situation going on right now between them, and it'll be interesting to see if they need to get Riot more involved, if Mega Zero keeps pursuing this.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think
Riot isn't going to do anything. Yeah. Riot may kind of be, I don't know, try to diffuse the situation, but they're not going to get legally involved. They're not going to actually do anything.
Because, I mean, everything's paid for at this point. It's just getting them where the money goes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really to worry about there. It's just who gets the money and whatnot.
Exactly. But there's no money left.
Exactly. That's the thing. Yeah.
Because he had to pay for everything.
Exactly.
But at the same time, he was saying there was a lot of costs of damages and stuff like that around the house.
Yeah.
But
scratch marks and everything.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, if you're going to have hardwood floors and you're going to set up a bunch of desks there, you need to have those little rubber things.
Yeah, the little rubber things or a rug or something.
It's a pack of 12 for $5 at Home Depot. And you get that, put it under your desk. Even though they already have rubber things, you put it under there anyway.
You could tell that a lot of the guys,
never scratch.
They were new to living in
on
a house on their own.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just had no idea.
They had absolutely no idea.
So
I remember getting screwed on my first apartment when I first moved out. Yeah, a lot of people do. You just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'll sign a 1-year lease. It's fine. Nothing will happen. I don't really care about this stuff because it's only a year. I can make it through a year. And then you find out later that you can't make it.
You're like, I messed everything up.
You're like, holy shit. This isn't working the way I expected. There's holes in the carpet everywhere. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to turn out.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a couple people were on Marn's side, but a couple people weren't.
Yeah,
and the fact that Marn has such a shady past reputation, it makes it very difficult. But from what I was to understand, the donations that he got at the beginning when he was first forming it was for merchandise, being like the shirts and other things, so that they could use that to raise money
Get it
for
off
the
the ground
team.
pretty much. Start
Yeah,
the
he's
company.
gonna turn. Yeah, he was gonna turn it into a brand, because
Yeah.
you have to, for Riot to accept you into the LCS, you have to be backed or own a company. So you have to have an
Be a brand.
LLC.
Yeah.
You have to be a corporation of some sort.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense. So
yeah, because you expect somebody that has an
Exactly.
LLC to be able to have bookkeeping skills or something. But it's Marn. Marn doesn't know much because it's Marn. I mean, he's a gamer who
Yes.
goes to accounting school. Not many people.
It's a big switch from being on the team to managing the team just in a day or two.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I don't like how he stressed the fact that he benched himself.
yeah, he
It's
tried to
like,
make him seem
I had
like
to
the
bench
innocent
myself. I'm like, okay, well, you were trash, and the team benched you,
one. So
but they couldn't really bench you, but they forced you to bench yourself.
Yeah.
It's like when CEOs have to buy out chairmen
They're like-
to fire them. They're like, no, I wasn't fired. I got bought out.
Yeah,
I'm like, well,
so-
it's basically the same
You're pretty
thing.
much fired.
Yeah.
Definitely very, very intriguing situation. It's the first one of its kind that we've had as far as
Yeah.
League of Legends go, where
Which
there
is
is this
great.
money. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
great.
it's cool to see
I
how
love it.
big it's getting almost. Where there
Yeah.
are these drama things like housing and contracts and all this stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody did a Kickstarter
Yeah.
for Mega Zero's 1800. Mega Zero's like, donate money to me.
Please.
Like, stream more, you bitch. I don't know. I have no sympathy for that. You
Yeah.
signed a lease. You didn't read it. You weren't paying attention. You didn't force him to do bookkeeping. You didn't ask to see the books once a month.
It's not
I
like
mean-
he's losing like all his money or he lost money throughout the whole thing. It's his last month's check from Riot is going to paying off the house.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
For the
So-
month, because they moved out before there was new tenants.
Yep. They had to wait the extra month. And
Therefore,
they had to pay for the damage.
they had to pay-
Actually,
yeah.
Mern said he paid for
A lot of it.
most of the damages done to the thing. So
Yeah.
he's like, let's just drop it. I paid for some. You guys lost. Let's just stop. Everybody
Yeah.
stop. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next is going to be potential alternate chaos.
This one. This could just be rumor.
This is 100% rumor.
Yeah,
Like,
I
there's
mean-
no proof behind this at all.
Nothing. Somebody was just like,
It was.
hey, I think Chaos is an alternate.
Well, because who was it? Was it Aranea?
Hurt his
Oh.
hand, I think, something like that.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
some car accident. And so on stream, alternate was watching Chaos's vlog where he said nobody in a world-class level team really needs an AD carry right now. So
Yeah.
unless one of them gets in a car accident and loses an arm. And so they're watching that part of the
They're
video
like,
and they just started cracking up.
That's funny.
And they're like, call Chaos. Call
Everybody-
Chaos. We need Chaos over here. He predicted it. And so that's where it stemmed off from.
Yeah.
Is it going to happen? It's possible, but
Very high chance it won't happen.
yeah, in my opinion, Chaos is just gonna stick with the whole streaming thing because he wants to be an entertainer. He has, plans for his future.
I
And
mean, so far it's been working really well. He is
Oh, yeah.
watching his stream. It's entertaining. He is a great player. There's no doubt about that.
Not
I
at all.
mean, it's a good thing to watch. He's fun to watch, so no reason not to stick with that.
yeah, he'll only get better,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. But it
Exactly.
takes a lot of work if you're gonna be streaming, posting to YouTube, potentially starting a brand for himself. I don't know
Yes.
if he's going to start a company or whatnot, but if he's going to have to do website design, back end, front end, if he's going to host tournaments or leagues,
Yeah.
if he's going to get merchandise set up, so t-shirts, logos, everything, there's so much involved in that,
Yeah.
and it takes so much time
Yeah.
that, it's taken me over 7 months now to even get everything set up, and I'm not
Yeah.
even done. I'm not going to be done until probably the end of the year at this point.
Yeah.
It's just so much, and I can't even imagine since he's streaming all the time.
Yeah, there's more than very high chance that it won't. It's just hey, everybody look at this. Everybody get more attention to Chaos. Because doesn't hurt
Exactly.
his viewer count, and
Yeah,
everybody likes
exactly.
talking about it.
And he won't tell me. He just ignores the question when I asked him.
Just secretive about it.
Yeah. I told him everyone was freaking out. It's like, dude, everyone's freaking out about this. That's hilarious. Trying to pry, poke at him. I thought he was gonna reply to him and be like, oh yeah, that's funny. It's never gonna happen. Like try to squeeze a fake answer out of him maybe, but I didn't get anything from him. He just ignored it completely. It's like fine. I don't want to know anyway. Piece of shit. But on to more pieces of shit. The Oceanic server. No, I'm just kidding.
Calling them out.
I know. No, the thing is when the Oceanic server first opened up, I was kind of upset, but happy at the same time.
Yeah, it's good for them. We thought it was good for them.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be good for them. But at the same time, the game's been out for 3.5 years at this point, and for it to take that long to open up an Oceanic server, people in Australia have been playing the game for 2 to 3 years, and they have a lot of friends on the NA server or EU server, whatever server they're playing on.
Definitely.
And so they have to drop all their friends, and so they don't have anyone fun to play with. They don't have people they know.
Starting over.
It's starting over, and so they have nobody.
Yes.
They're solo queuing. They don't know anybody. They're resetting their ELO. So people that could have been Diamond or Platinum or Challenger or whatever are now below Bronze.
They're ready.
And so there's...
Like you're 30 again.
Exactly. There's so much drama just revolved around that because you can't expect everyone to be at your level.
Yeah.
That and the fact that you're transferring or transitioning between 200 ping to 30 ping.
Yes.
Losing 170 ping, that's like 2 to 3 milliseconds.
It makes an unbelievable difference.
Yeah. And that can throw a lot of people off.
Yes, it will, definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised
if
if people...
It takes time to get used to, for sure.
Yeah, missing skill shots for days.
Yeah. They're like, wow, I can actually aim where I want to aim instead of 9 feet in front of the person.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Exactly.
Yeah, but word is that, well, everybody was excited for this. Word is that a lot of the people over there after transferring aren't the nicest of people to play with. Which in a little way is understandable, but in another way, it's kind of like, can't we all just get along? We're all new to the server over here. Let's just be friends and try to make the best of this whole situation that we just got thrown into after 3 years of playing the game by ourselves and meeting all these people. Instead of being like assholes to each other, try to make new friends.
Exactly.
You're in your area finally, you're ready to play.
Yeah.
Enjoy the game for what it is instead of taking it seriously and trying to kill everybody.
Yeah, and the fact that people are still taking solo queue seriously is kind of a shock to me to begin with. Because with the LCS, everything is revolved around the LCS.
Yes.
So I'm surprised there's not more challenger teams or aspiring challenger teams.
Pretty much at this point,
and everyone still cares about solo queue, and I don't know why.
If you're not a top, let's say, I don't know, 100 solo queue player even, there's not really, like, that's how the players do find teams in the first place, is being good at solo queue, for the most part. But, I mean, if you're not in these close to challenger tier levels, in challenger tier, fighting for the top, there isn't a reason to just go and flame people. Like, at that point, even at my level, I just try to enjoy the game for what it's worth most of the time. That's what the game's here for in the end, is to enjoy it, even though a lot of us sometimes take it too seriously, myself included sometimes, but in the end, it's to have fun. That's what it is. So
exactly.
Oceanic server, try to have fun. Do what you can.
Yeah, more fun, less flame.
Yes.
Or come back. Yeah, I know, right? Make it a t-shirt.
Yeah. Sell it.
But yeah, or just transfer back to the US server.
Yeah. What is it, like
we miss you guys. I don't know what it is.
I like Australian people.
They might, because they had a free transfer over to the Oceanic server. So if they say, yeah, I don't like this, they may be able to just transfer back for free if they submit a support ticket.
Yeah.
It's possible.
That'd be interesting.
It wouldn't surprise me. Next one is that Phantom Lord is potentially starting another Fives team again.
Yes. Okay.
Is drama going to ensue like it did last time?
Yeah, that was interesting last time because they were good. They were a good team. I mean.
Well, yeah, but Phantom Lord could only play Phantom Lord.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. He has very.
He's like Revive Teleport Karthus.
Revive Teleport Karthus, and I play Ari sometimes. That's about it.
So they're like ban. Yeah. He's all fuck.
It's an interesting thing because they have potential, and they were like last team he had. They were good.
Oh yeah.
But then they had some drama, and the team got disbanded. And I mean, it stunk for him because they were They had potential. So
yeah, they wanted to bench him at one of the tournaments, and he's like, I put this team together. I am not sitting out.
Yeah, and then
obviously they ended up getting stomped. But.
Yeah, and it was just, I don't know, interesting situation because he has some very high quality Fabbies on the team. Yes, everybody loves Fabby.
Yeah,
he is a good
Fabby's
player,
hilarious.
and only Jack's miss. I know he streams sometimes. He's pretty famous in the community. It's some popular good players, so that's one of those things to look out for. Just
they're like a new Velocity, almost.
Yeah, almost. Speaking of which, I wonder how long till because the top 16 teams they just released that are starting the tournament soon. Top 16 challenger teams. That's coming up soon again for the whole LCS thing and a chance to play in the LCS. So that's when I saw they were aiming at that. They're already into challenger tier after like a week of playing together. So.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That is scary.
30-2, I think they were in ranks, which is it's pretty impressive. I mean, climbing up the ladder is quick, and with that new top 16 have a chance to get to LCS again, that's what they're aiming for. So we'll see what happens with that one. I'm interested. Good team.
What about that? What do you agree with the relegation and everything like that?
I think it's good because they do have first there's the bottom teams, right? The bottom teams get not kicked out initially, but you have the chance to play again to stay in there.
Yeah, but it's the bottom half.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. That's just a high percentage. It's not a lot of teams. It's a high percentage. And that's what I don't agree with.
Yeah, it's rough on the teams, especially because you finally hit this point, and then you're playing against these teams that have been together. TSM, who's like, I mean, TSM is there's a very, 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 very high chance that there's just no way they're going to finish in the bottom half. So you get into
they
this
won the first
thing, and then like back to Velocity, they're already about ready to get kicked out again and have to play for their spot yet again right away after a few months, and it is rough on them.
Yeah, but you have CLG, Curse, and Dignitas also in the bottom 4.
Yes, that is interesting.
It's like the challenger teams are not going to have a good time in that tournament.
Exactly.
If that ends up being the bottom 3, the challenger teams are going to be like, well, I guess there's one slot open.
Exactly. Like
unless they put the 3 challenger teams like in the same pool or the same side of the bracket.
Oh yeah.
And then it could help, but at the same time, it just depends on what they decide to do.
Yeah.
I think they need to increase the number of teams.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you have a bad Super Week, because each split is, 3 months, and then there's relegation. So if you have a bad Super Week and you just go 0-6,
you're done.
It's very difficult to come back from that.
Yep, and then you lost all your momentum too. I mean,
if you had any to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you were 5-5 and they just have a Super Week and you go 0-6, okay, now we're 5-11. Now we're definitely in the bottom 2 or 3. You're almost guaranteed to be in regulation.
Yep, exactly.
And of course, you just fed a bunch of wins to every other LCS team.
Exactly.
It's not good. It's really not good. I don't like the setup. I think they could do the same thing if they did every 6 months.
Oh yeah, that would be almost like a sports season at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is technically what it's supposed to be, but kicking people out mid
3 months
season, 3 months. Because they should know that it's really difficult to get a lease.
Yes, it is.
For 3 months.
Especially
a month-to-month basis.
You can't look for it before because you don't even know if you're going to win. Like, you're playing against, like you said, Dignitas, CLG, these good teams. You're like, I don't know if we're going to win. Should we even start looking for a house? This could just be a waste of our time and money. What do we do here? Like, it's... And I wish Riot could add more teams. I really do. But it does take a lot of money. Because they sponsor all these teams, they give them money.
That's true.
And it's a tough decision for them. Do we want more teams? How much money are we willing to spend?
I think at Season 2, well, you take a look at what sponsors each team had at the beginning of LCS.
Yeah.
And you're looking at Steel Series, Gunner, and product sponsors. You're not looking at money sponsors. And now you have Newegg, I Buy Power,
sponsors.
like... These are big money sponsors that can provide not only a $5,000 computer for all 5 members of your team, but they can also provide some actual salary.
Yes.
And it's coming fast. So it's very possible that Riot will be able to just give more money or more teams money.
Yeah.
I think if they increase it up to 16 teams, that would be best. Maybe 12. 16 may be a little bit too much, but you could do an actual double elimination bracket of sorts.
If you get 12 teams and then get rid of 4, I think that gives you a lot more leeway and cushion. And at that point, if you do play enough games with 12 teams, the bottom teams probably are the ones that you should see ready to try to play their way back in. Because, like you said, if you have one bad super week at this point and you can be a great team and just have one bad week, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's like, what if one person on your team gets sick, but they're your shot caller, they're your all-star, they're your VIP, they're sick for one weekend, and that weekend is super week.
Yeah.
That person's either pulling a Reggie and just throwing up on stage
like,
the whole time.
I feel terrible.
Yeah, or you get a sub, and you have no synergy, and you have no shot calling. And it's not good. It's not good. But again, at the same time, that's people not having enough backups, people not having those subs. But it's hard to just get 5 people to be subs.
It is.
So that you can constantly scrim against, because just like normal sports, you have your bench team, and then you have your starters, and then they practice against each other.
Unless you're a big powerhouse team like the TSMs or CLGs, you're not going to have the resources to get all these guys to be your number 2 team. Because they're not going to get anything out of it. I mean, TSM can say, hey, bench guys, here's some money, be on our bench, practice with us, play against us. Like, they had Wild Turtle was the bench guy for a while. I know he was getting at least a little bit of compensation for doing that. And
he was also on a different team, though, too.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So he was benched and then also on a challenger team, which seems to be kind of like what Curse is doing with Curse Academy.
Exactly. They're good. And they are good. Just throwing that one out there, too. But yeah, so hopefully the LCS can get even bigger than what it is now. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see more teams and more plays.
More bar crafts.
Yeah.
Bar crafts are fun.
It'd be awesome. Good things.
Yeah, we did that a while ago. I don't remember. There was some random one that was set up here in Arizona. And it was at an Irish bar.
That's cool.
But it was like a higher class Irish bar. So it was really nice furnished couches with designer seats, and there was a bunch of 20-year-old gamers watching friggin' a tournament.
That's
and we're
funny.
like, this is not the environment we were looking for. I was like, it was cool. We met a lot of people, and it was fun, but at the same time, we're like, next time, can we just host this at one of our houses? Because this is weird.
High-class Irish bar.
Yeah. They're like, would you like 20-year-old whiskey? I'm like, no. Would you like to shut up so I can watch this game?
I'm trying to watch League, bro. Come on.
And there were tiny-ass TVs and put up on the wall. Like,
everybody's like leaning in close.
I know.
Can't see it.
People were watching on their phones for the most part. Oh, man, it was terrible. It was fun, but it was also not very well done. Yeah. And then the last topic that we're going to go over is promotion series. There seems to be a lot of drama revolving around the promotion series, and it's been happening since they implemented the new scoring system. Because there's people, because they'll still rank you with people of your same ELO.
Yeah.
Even though it's hidden, they'll still put you against and with people.
And
you have your matchmaking rating. And so there's been guys that have gotten to bronze promotion, like in the promotion, and then they'll Q dodge, which kicks them out of promotion.
Yes.
And their ELO barely goes down. But they never get promoted, so their ELO keeps going up.
Yeah.
And they're still in bronze. So they're at diamond level, or they have diamond level ELO because you keep winning games. You're going to get a little bit of ELO because you're playing against bad ELO players because you're playing in bronze. You're going to slowly start climbing up to diamond, but you're bronze.
Yeah. So
and
it's just all... The new system does do that, and like the big thing is, I mean, people do it on purpose. They'll dodge the games, and the client sometimes will kick people out too. So there's just a lot of conversation going about how can we perfect this system to make it where you can't either abuse it, or like the other day when I was on my Smurf and I was doing a promotion series, I plugged in my headphones and it turned off my League of Legends mid queue. I was just like, what just happened? So I got kicked out of my promotion series, and I was just like, well, that's a bitch for just plugging in my headphones. And it's just little stuff like that can happen with the Adobe Air client that LOL uses. So, I mean, it's just
Adobe Air isn't even supported by Adobe anymore. This pisses me off. Why are they even using it?
So there definitely is some things like that. And
yeah.
you can get queued with, like, I think I've only played 110 games on my lower account. So I'll get, like, when I was, like, Plat 5, I'm matched against, like you said, these Diamond 3 players, Diamond 2 players in my promotion series. And it's like, sometimes it'll be the other end where I'll be with in my platinum promotion series with like a bronze 3 player, and I'm like, why is this happening? Like, it just doesn't make sense sometimes because people really can abuse the system.
Exactly, and that's what kind of fucks with things. It's just, it's not good to have that big of a hole in the system, because if you're gonna have such a high elo, you should have to prove yourself against that elo.
Yes.
You shouldn't get that elo by only playing against bronze players. Granted, instead of getting 12 or 15 elo from a win, you'll get 2 or 3, but if you play enough and get 2 or 3 slowly every time, it's gonna add up. And it's people like that do it.
And I mean, of course, most people don't abuse the system, and
most people don't, but it does happen.
It does, and it does get annoying. Yeah. Hopefully the number of good players outweigh the douchebags most of the time.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Because I remember when it first came out, a lot of people were complaining that they were celebrating. They're like, yeah, I'm in a promotion series.
Yeah.
And then people would throw the game. They would go AFK.
Yeah.
And they would say, no, fuck you.
Yeah, you're like, why would you?
Exactly.
Just from my perspective, I could never see. I don't know. It just seems like a douche move.
Yeah.
I can't support that.
So there's a lot of drama basically revolved around the whole, if you're in promotion series, don't tell anybody.
Yes, exactly.
Because a lot of people did that too.
And the idea was mentioned to only match you with other promotion series people.
Yeah.
I saw that. But there are a couple problems with that as well, and there's a reason Ryan hasn't done it yet.
That's an unfair swing, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Because when you're in a promotion series, there's more stress on you, but you're also excited about it. There's a lot more hype around it, and you try harder.
Yeah.
You seem to try harder, because if you go up to a group of people and you just say, hey, raise your hand as high as you can, most people will just raise their hand.
Yeah,
and then if you say, okay, raise it a little higher, and then people will raise it a little higher. You're like, well, why didn't you raise it the highest the first time I said, raise your hand as high as you can?
Yeah. And
everybody does that. And it's just a mindset that people have, that they don't always try their hardest until they absolutely have to try their hardest. And that's what the promotion series is.
Yeah.
So if you put everybody that's in a promotion series, which it would be very difficult at the diamond level once it gets to the 0.2% of people, you'd be in a queue for 12 hours.
I'm already in there for like 10 minutes, so I can't imagine 5 promotion people.
Yeah. It would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Even for bronze and stuff, it wouldn't be as bad.
Well, and then imagine finding 5 versus 5 promotion people if they wanted to do that. Like, it's just, there's a reason there's the way it is. Just keep it on the shush and try to play normal. Bad games happen. Just try to brush it off,
Doesn't always work that way.
I wish it did, though. I wish it did.
I don't know, after the new LeBlanc changes, I might be coming back.
Oh my.
I might be coming back, bro.
So excited for this patch. New to your skin, new guy. Man,
I know.
Who's excited?
I'm very excited. Yeah, that's going to be it for the show. So thanks, guys, for watching. Again, I'm Strider from Sit Down Gaming.
Get on me Gaming. Great time. It was a fun
Make sure to watch his stream right here.
Thank you. And make sure to keep watching Strider over here.
I'll block it. Yeah, but thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.